Let me ask you this: were y'all kind of disappointed how less they used Will Taylor after all you heard about him this summer? And
I mean, I don't know because I mean when I saw the preliminary depth chart and it had Spector and Williams as the top two guys at the slot,
I mean,
I kind of
Will
expected Will
Taylor
Taylor.
of them.
I kind of expected Will Taylor not to play a whole bunch
but
tonight.
last year we saw him before he got hurt. They used him as a what's called a wildcat quarterback. You know, they used him a little bit more. I mean, I know it was early in the season's first game, but they might have some more stuff they was holding back. Oh man, what about that punt they made the coach from Georgia Tech used it last time out.
Oh, Jeff Collins, yeah,
Yeah,
that was
that was funny.
yeah, that was a little bit of a trickery by Dabo. You know, he's still got it a little bit in his he does that kind of stuff. Um, Oh, and speaking of punting, I thought Aidan Swanson, all things considered, I thought he punted really well. Because the practice reports kind of told a different story. It seemed like because BT Potter was also repping at punter, and it was a kind of a battle between them. And at times the punting looked less than stellar. But I thought he punted the ball really well. I thought he got good hang time on the ball, good distance. I was worried that was going to be a problem tonight, and it really wasn't. The special teams in general was great. BT Potter made his field goals and his extra points, and obviously the two blocked punts were huge. So yeah, special teams was arguably the best unit tonight. I mean, obviously the defense was great, but you could argue the special teams was as good.
How much did Kevin Henry um, difference was made because of Mal Murphy and Breezy? But what's up with Tyler Davis? You ain't really see him much tonight. You seen him, but you really didn't see him. I mean, is it been a rotation that deep that
I think
he's
he's
getting
the one
plays?
being double teamed most of the time.
Yeah, I mean Tyler Davis is such a. I mean he eats up so many blocks.
Yeah, they talk about Brzee all the time, but Tyler
Yeah.
Davis is the one taking those double teams.
Yeah, no, and Tyler Davis, I like. It feels like Clemson misses his presence more when he's not on the field than when Brzee not there. Just because of he eats so many blocks. He's such a force in the run game that it forces teams to dedicate a lot of resources to him, and it frees up the other interior guy, whoever the interior guy is. You saw Trey Williams get in on there on a tackle for loss too. Obviously, Brzee was great, and the KJ Henry off the edge was great. Miles Murphy he had a quiet night as far as a impact plays were concerned, but I thought he set the edge well. I think he gave up contain like one time on that Jeff Sims run, but all in all, I thought he played pretty well. So just the defensive line. Tyler Davis is he's the unquestioned like leader, heart and soul of that defensive line.
Right.
So I hope he stays healthy.
And I don't think we didn't even see Xavier Thomas, right? They held him out.
Yeah, no, he's not ready. Yeah.
He won't be back to the Wake Forest game or State game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doesn't look like we'll need him. Now, KJ filled in really nicely, and it's nice to see him, break in, have that kind of breakout year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Freshman from last year, did they play?
Who?
The two freshman defensive ends. I can't remember their name. Cade is one.
Oh, Denhoff and Denhoff and did they play tonight? I don't know if I saw.
Yeah, I don't think I saw him. I saw Cade from Greensboro. He got in. Rukuku played.
Kevin Swint played a lot. He played more snaps than I thought he was going to. Yeah, Timothy me and Timothy were on the same wavelength. Yeah, you saw Kevin Swint in there a lot, so that was good to see.
Okay.
All right, so we got Will in here. Hey, what's up, man?
I was gonna ask a couple questions. Do you guys want DJ and Cade to do sort of like what Jim Harbaugh's doing with Michigan, like have Cade start one of the upcoming 2 games and then DJ starting the other one? Do you think that'll be like fun, healthy competition, or do you think that won't help the team?
No.
Well, I'm not as diametrically opposed to that, but that's not how he would do it. You know, if you go back to the Trevor Lawrence and Kelly Bryant, battle, it wasn't, one guy starts one game, the other. It was they played, they each played series within the same game. So if that were to happen, if they were going to do something like that, that would be how Dabo would do it. But I don't even think that's going to happen. I think DJ is going to be I think he is the starter, for the near future. He's going, Cade is not going to they're not going to split series and stuff. DJ is going to play the majority of the series, at least for now.
Doesn't Michigan, one is a situational quarterback? Like one come in just to do running plays or something?
Well, they did that. They did that some last year, but now it's there. JJ McCarthy is the 5-star. Well, he was a freshman last year, but former 5-star quarterback, and now they're actually going to start him next week, and so that they're gonna decide who the quarterback is the week after. So that's and it's looking like it's going to be JJ at this juncture right now at this point, but it's kind of it's kind of confusing.
Yeah, and for the O-line, do you think that do you think that we'll see improvement in the Clemson O-line as the season goes along?
I think so. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No. I mean, there was some. Dabo mentioned communication issues. I thought that was a lot of it. And again, the left side of the offensive line looked good when we ran to that side of the ball. There was chunk plays, and there was positive yardage. It was on the right side. I don't want to keep singling out Blake Miller, but he was a liability at times tonight. And he's a highly recruited guy. He's talented, and he looks the part. He just needs to get out of his own head a little bit and kind of settle into the offense, do his job, and I think you'll see better play from them.
Yeah, it's just hard for freshman alignment to go straight into the action, but they
that's supposed to be one of the most easiest positions to translate to, because you're not protecting the blind side of the quarterback, so that should have been an easy transition. I don't know why they won't play Travis Lay there. He was very highly recruited. You see Nick Saban do it all the time. Cross train. Why doesn't he play on the right tackle side? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just what I heard from one of my football podcasts, that O-line's hard, but I don't know. It might be different for different people, but definitely we had one of our guys last year, Joe Alt, and he was our O-line was just complete garbage, but then it got better as the season went on. So I'm sure that'll happen for Blake Miller too. I'm sure he's going to be a high draft pick in the NFL.
Yeah. I can't tell you the last time I had a high draft pick in the NFL, but Cameron Jackson, or as far as offensive lineman goes.
And I just don't I'm not trying to kill your wide receivers, but with the catching thing, is it just I don't know, because I felt like Clemson had a lot of good guys with Hunter Renfrow and a bunch of other guys and both guys I thought Bo Collins would be pretty elite, but I don't know, is it just a mental thing with the guys? Are they just in their own heads, or?
Yeah,
Brad Scott been gone. I don't think they play very well. I think it's something with Grissom. He's a former player, and I think that had a lot to do with it too. Since Brad Scott been gone, it doesn't seem like we did a very good job of developing too many chain wide receivers.
I kind of agree. It's Tyler Grisham. He mentioned last year that that he felt like he failed his group last year, and so I was hoping to see a more a better effort from that group tonight, and it wasn't there. And Bo Collins didn't have a great night. but he was arguably our best receiver last year. He was, and he stepped up big time towards the end of the year when there was a lot of injuries at that position. But so I'm still on the Bo Collins train. I think he was in position to make plays and they just weren't made. Especially in the second half, he had some big drops. But yeah, it's got to be better all around. So I don't know if it's coaching. I don't think it's a talent issue. I think the wide receivers are talented. All those guys you saw on the field were former blue chip prospects. But obviously they're not playing up to the standard that Clemson brands itself as wide receiver U because of how much wide receiver talent they put in the league like the last decade. But it's just they're not playing up to that standard, and I think they know that. It's all about they got to execute better.
Mm-hmm. And do you think that like in the important moments, do you think they'll give Will Shipley more carries than he had today? Because I was like kind of surprised like when the game was because if it was working, like I would have just kept pounding Will Shipley in there to like keep.
We were just talking about that before you logged in. You gotta look. Clemson doesn't have a lot of depth at running back, and so what they're trying to do is save him for later on in the year. So I think that had a lot to do with it. And then also, I think Moffitt and Kobe Pace, they had over 700 yards themselves last year. Matter of fact, I think Kobe Pace averaged 6.9 yards per carry last year. So you got to give him a. I think it's just he's trying to mix it up. You don't want him to put that much wear and tear on his body. And remember, all the guys are sophomores and freshmen. So juniors.
Yeah, this running back. I mean, those three running backs are really capable. Very good. I mean, I think all three of them have all conference kind of potential like play wise. So there's not a reason to. I don't think there's a reason to turn Shipley into the feature back and pound to the right. I don't think we need to do what we did with. Wayne, back when Wayne Gallman was our running back, and we would just pound the rock with him a bunch of times because he was just that kind of back. He fought for those extra. I don't think we need to do that. I think we have more than enough. I think we have three very capable, running backs. I think Shipley's the best of them, but I don't think they need to turn him into the primary back because I think Kobe Pace and Phil Moffitt bring different dimensions to the running back room and to the run game. So I don't think it was a personnel usage issue tonight. I think it really just was the offensive line didn't create a whole lot of holes and just in some communication issues on that side. So
yeah, and do you think the secondary will also improve a bit? Because I don't know,
it will.
Just surprised how. I mean, Georgia Tech just played a bit better than I thought they did as well. But
yeah. I think they will. I think it's just going to be. There's a lot of new guys stepping into new roles, and that was something we knew going into the year. Losing your two all first team all ACC corners. I mean, there's going to be a drop off. The good thing is Clemson has such a great front seven. It takes some of the pressure off of them, and they'll be able to kind of develop. And I trust Mike Reed with the corners. At this point, he has a proven track record. He always gets good play out of those guys. It's going to get better. They do need to clean some stuff up. I thought the tackling especially was not very good, and they need to communicate better. In terms of the one big touchdown play that they had, there was some. Maybe it was on Sheridan Jones, maybe it was on Makuba, but clearly they were not on the same page, and one of them was supposed to help the other, and they didn't. That didn't happen.
It was a great grand play though too. I mean,
it was a good play design, and it was it was a matchup, and like you said, DeAndre, it was a matchup thing because Makuba's not the biggest guy, and he was kind of been putting.